Algebra 2B, completing Unit 7, Session 1, also hopefully addressing 2B Assessment 1 review. Anybody know what this guy is? He has a name. Yeah, I speak math, how about that? Yeah, we're chuckling about pienso. Yeah, now we're not chuckling about nothing. No such chocolate. Which must be, how do you say not chuckling now? Not laughing. How do you, it must be a way to say laughter. In the language of math, these letters are the letters of the word to help you remember what it is. I'll say the word, then I'll tell you what it's supposed to mean. Co for C.
Cosine.
Say it again.
Cosine.
You would think that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But it's not. It's cosecant. A cosecant. You know, you make up a word, I forgot. Cosecant. You do need that. You'll have to memorize it. They are going to put it on there. Just got to know it. Anybody can guess what this word is?
Secant.
Very good. See, they try to help you by making an abbreviation, something that you might think of. By the way, today is Wolfpack Wednesday, which is why I'm wearing Wolfpack gear, and the other teachers as well. And you can tell I'm a corny adult because I'm wearing like sports gear with church shoes, you know what I mean? Yeah, boy. They make us, like we can't wear tennis shoes even if we wanted to.
Really?
Yeah, a guy named Jesus, he's in charge of us. He said no tennis shoes.
No, but it's
Jesus still likes slippers. Actually, his name is Jesus, but I think it's funny to call him Jesus. So Jesus is like the number 2 man in the whole organization, which is kind of cool because the organization that goes up, it gets a little bit lighter. You know what I mean? But, here we go. Last one. Anybody know can guess what that one is?
Secant. Wait, no.
The word, the letter's supposed to hint and give you a hint.
Cotant.
Cotangent. Tangent. All right. What are these words in this new language? Let me remind them of something I know. Circle reciprocals. I wouldn't spend time on this unless it was going to come to you in a big way. Here it comes. Do me a favor, someone write down the fraction 2/3, and then please write, probably should do it in color so they can really jump out. By the way, you have this video at home. It's probably the better version. That should be a 3. Please go ahead and write down the reciprocal. Maybe I should just draw an arrow. Please write down the reciprocal of 2/3. You can do it now while I'm trying to get this arrow right. I'll even help you out about that. That way you'll be reminded a little bit. What is it?
2/2.
Yeah. 3/2. Stinking genius. This is hard if you don't know what the word reciprocal means. If you do, then you just flip it. Well, the same concept over here. I'm going to write down an original thing, write it as a fraction, flip it. That is, I'm going to write the reciprocal of it. Once I flip it, instead of just letting it stand on its own, I'm going to give it a brand new name, which, well, I guess it's just vocabulary. Here we go. So I speak math. Math says, please go ahead and write sine x. Step 2, please write sine x as a fraction. Oh, anything you want to write as a fraction, you just put it over 1. Now I'm going to ask you to go to the next level. I'm going to ask you to write the reciprocal of sine x, written already as a fraction, as sine over 1. Someone say, but this time, Milo, someone else say, we'll use them as backup. The reciprocal of sine x over 1, please.
1 over sine x.
Thank you. When you have the reciprocal of something, you just take whatever it is and you flip it over. If there's nothing below it, then there's a 1 there and it flips over. If there's something below it, then whatever that something is, it flips and it's at the top. Okay. When you write the reciprocal, I guess the math people needed, they needed a version of it that wasn't a fraction. We just want like just one clump one clump, and we'll give this thing a name, and that's when they came up with like, hey, let's call this thing cosecant. Cosecant. And I wish I didn't use the word co, because you would think co would go with the reciprocal of cosine, but no, they messed that up. They put cosecant on the sine, and they put secant, which starts with an S, which could have gone with sine. You know, give me partners, could have helped students out. C and C, S and S. No, they do the reverse with the reciprocal. In other words, the co goes with sine, and the C goes with cosine. They're like, look, we're confused to begin with, and we don't know what you're talking about. So here it comes. The reciprocal of sine has a name. It is cosecant. But math people, we don't like writing long words a lot of times. We like abbreviating, which is why we use the letter X for stuff. So we abbreviate to, how about you? Cosecant. Cosecant of X. That's what those letters are, cosecant of X. What do they mean when someone writes this? This is a shorthand of writing this fraction. What is this fraction? This fraction is the reciprocal of this thing. I apologize. All right. They're going to do that 3 times. They're going to start you off. I'm going to ask you to do it for me, not to feel extra smart, because again, by doing what I'm about to ask you to do, makes you special. It makes you above, how many people out there? Clearly 80% of them. But I would go with 95%. 95% of people who enter this building, the thing you're about to do makes you superior to them, just in the still area though, not in everything, but just in this area. Do me a favor, please write out cosine as a fraction, do the reciprocal, and then do tangent. Write that out, just the way we did with sine, write as a fraction, then write the reciprocal. Do those things for me. So you're like, what is asking me to do? Do with cosine and tangent what we just did with sine. That's what I want you to do. In math talk, I would just say write the reciprocal of cosine, write the reciprocal of tangent. Give me that. All right. What they're saying here is, say we started off, let me try it. Say I'm starting off with the cosecant thing, and I'm going to write the reciprocal of it. Here we go. Cosecant, I'm going to write you in green. Cosecant, that thing down there, cosecant X. I have it in green. All right, write it as a fraction, write the reciprocal of it, put my 1 on top, and my cosecant on the bottom. So far, I know what I'm doing. Okay. If this thing gets on the bottom, they're saying this thing here equals sine. That's the tricky part. Like, how are you equal to this? Here comes the answer. All right. Cosecant happens to be 1 over sine, like over here, this little 1 guy, he actually really is a fraction. Let me write the fraction in red. A green dude on the bottom is really 1 over sine of a positive, so you can see it and feel anything. So to scaffold here, I will go, let's do different numbers. Let's do 3. Should I keep the 1, go 3? Keep the 1, go 3. Keep the 1. I'm going 1. I'm going 1. 1 divided by, let's say I had 2 over 3. I'll do 2 over 3. 2 over 3. Hey, Thomas, how do you do 1 divided by 2 over 3? You do, I'm using my space. You do 1, and you do divided by, and then you do the 2 over 3. And now we're dividing a whole number by a fraction. Hey, Thomas, how do you do that? I forgot completely. You turn the first one into a fraction, and then there's some kind of KFC, keep, flip, change, KFC, keep, flip, change, KFC. Yeah. So you do your K, F, C. We're going to keep, I'm right all in black now, keep the first fraction. Oh, KCF, I knew that was something. Because you got, the middle thing you change it to multiplication. I like KFC anyway. And then here we change. Technically, this is how you would do a division problem. Some people, maybe you're gone. You're already thinking about something else, and that's fine, because none of this will matter, because this sheet you'll have when you take the test. Then to multiply fraction, top times the top, bottom times the bottom. Here's something a math person figured out he did this like 5 times in a row, and he found like, whoa, did you just say that the answer is 3/2? Did you just say to me that if I do 1 divided by a fraction, that the answer really is just, I hate to use this word, the reciprocal of the bottom fraction? It is, and it works every single time. In other words, if I do 1 divided by any fraction, the answer is going to be the bottom fraction flipped every single time. So watch this. Because I did it with the old stuff, and I know the pattern is just to flip the bottom fraction, guess what? If I need to do 1 divided by this ugly fraction, all I'm going to do is flip the ugly fraction, and I'm done.
So we don't have to do all the work.
Yeah, that's genius of math. You see what I'm saying? It's called patterns. You figure out the pattern, you don't have to do all the work, which is why people who are good in math are good in patterns. People who aren't good in math, one, they're not good in patterns, and as a result, they think to themselves, I have to do all this for every single one, and then they hate math, because who wants to do that for every single one? Those of us good in math, we go, what? There's a pattern, so I don't have to do this jump. What's the pattern? What do I do? Oh, take the bottom and flip it. The end. So this problem here, when I actually do it, I'm going to erase this stuff here, because it's on a video now that you, don't worry, you're not going to watch the video, but it's on that video. And now here comes my answer. Sine x all over 1, and some of you know anything divided by 1 is just that thing itself, therefore. And in math, we like to use therefore. I'll put the therefore symbol so you can put it and be like, who's that on your thing? Is that La Vida Loca? No. I'm a smart person.
Is that for?
This is math, and it represents the word therefore. And here comes the final answer. Go ahead, say what you're saying.
Is that for the middle problem on the right side?
This is for this thing. All this goes with this thing here. Well, what is it that you just showed us? I just showed you that, what did I just show them? I showed them something.
How did you turn to sine x equals cos?
Yeah, I just showed them this. See, it's still tricking my brain. It's not like here, what I did here, I follow what I did. But here, it seems like they're starting with sine and they're turning it into this thing. I don't know what to say to you. I don't know what to say to you. Here's what I really am going to say to you, though. I'm going to pause this. To have, so you can be better than 95% of everyone at the center. He doesn't want you to have the whole thing. Here's what he wants. He wants the word reciprocal to be in your head. He needs to flip a fraction. He wants you to know that there's some famous reciprocals. One of them is when you flip sine x. When you flip sine x, you get 1 over sine x. And that 1 over sine x has a famous name, and it's cosecant. So reciprocal, I want you to know that word. Flip it. There are some special flips that when you flip them, produce a new name. 1 over sine is cosecant, 1 over cosine is secant, and 1 over tangent. Anything else that I've done, it's neither here nor there. But if you just have reciprocal, okay, flip, sine, 1 over sine, okay, that's cosecant with this abbreviation, then you're good to go.
You're literally timing me, okay.
And you're being recorded right now.
Why?
Good luck on that. I send it home to them to watch, but they don't watch it. Don't worry about that.
Okay. Can I erase all this?
You want to insult somebody in the room? Yeah. No, go ahead.
Okay.
Get rid of this trash.
Yeah. Okay,
So the simplest way, remember like back in geometry,
no,
we learned
anything. Oh, red button. All right.
we learned that sine of whatever is opposite over hypotenuse.
This is going to be tricky.
Okay. Does this look familiar at all? Yeah? Okay. Well, cosecant is simply hypotenuse over opposite.
Okay.
You can see that these are basically, you can see the relationship here, that one is just the flip of the other, right? Well, how do we normally flip something? Well, just do 1 over it. For example, let's say I had the number 2/3. Well, 1 over that is 3 over 2.
See how you use that same 2/3? Booyah! In your face, people.
Same idea here. This, 1 over this, flips it. That's why sine of x is the same as 1 over. That's the same reason why cosine of x is the same as 1 over secant, tangent of x is 1 over tangent. That's it.
Done. I was going to say that next. Okay, Tim, here's what I'm about to do. I'm about to do a proportion. I'm going to cross multiply, flesh this guy out, and make it cancel with sine or something. I'm going to produce a 1. That's a bad idea.
That is a bad idea.
Yeah, scratch that. All right, never mind. All right, let's keep it in doggone holidays. All right, here we go. A. And what do each of the following equal, and why? I wonder if they all equal 1. Since each is a pair, since each pair is a function and it's reciprocal. All right, so let me do it back with the old school, that 2 over 3 that I came up with, not Tim. He just borrowed that, like, dude, what are you using my 2 over 3 for? All right, I'm going to do a multiplication problem here. 2 over 3, if I were to multiply it, well first, is I going to say what the reciprocal is of 2 over 3?
3 over 2.
Yeah, 3 over 2, no big deal. If you know the language, you're A-okay. Mi esposa, yeah. Mi esposa no está aquí. Mi esposa está allí. Not really, because that's close by. Está allá, far away. ¿Dónde está? In Beaumont. Beaumont, that's regular Beaumont. There's no other word for it. And Beaumont is French, which means beautiful mountain. Hey, look at that little heart. Yeah, that's what I do. I show the love, even when I don't have to. Okay, let's keep moving. All right, 3 over 2. That is so cool. If I was like into like New Age, like synchronicity. Synchronicity is a word produced by a guy named Carl Jung. Carl Jung, he was a student of Freud, and then they broke up because Freud was like all into like everything is about sex, and Jung is like, dang, it ought to be about sex. Yeah, I know I'm recording this for your knowledge, but don't worry, you're not watching it later anyway. And so from there, he came with this thing called synchronicity, which means meaningful coincidences. You know, Tim just happened to be walking by at that time. I need a little bit of help to clarify it. Boom, I take over that. Now, if you're in that frame of mind, you're like, yeah, this just happened right at the right time. But if you're not really thinking about it that way, then synchronicity doesn't really work. I don't know if I was thinking about love, or maybe I wasn't feeling the love. But then this little heart said, you know what? They're cool anyway. They are cool anyway. All right, so here goes. We do this here. When we heart the first fraction times the second one, anybody know what the top is going to equal? 2 times 3 on the top? Fine, I'll just do it myself. It is going to be a 6 in blue. Let's do it in blue. On the bottom, we know it's going to be a 6. It's a 1. I'll do one more, and then you'll get the point of when we do these. I'll do the first one, you'll do the second 2, and then you'll be like, oh, I see patterns, and I'm not going to do the third one for real. I'm just going to write it out and spit out the answer. Let me do it one more time with any other fractions. 7 over 6. Now that would be 1 apart. Let's do 7 over 10. Where are you, 7 over 10? 7. How about 7? Of course, I can't produce a heart again. Let's try, but I'm not going to try. 7 over 10, where are you, 10? These are reciprocals. I'm multiplying the original times its reciprocal. Anybody know what the top's going to be? Yeah. And hopefully you know that it equals. All right. That's the first part that we scaffold. Now let's go back to the new thing. Secant f cosine f. Well, first I should say, with sine and cosine, oftentimes we use x, but the x isn't technically important. It doesn't have to be an x. We use theta, it's a Greek letter, alpha, beta, theta. We don't have to use theta. We can use any letter we want, and they chose, in this case, to use f. On the test, I think they use the letter q. The letter doesn't matter. It represents an angle that we don't know. Something we don't know. So first one. I want everything to be written in terms of the original 3. Sine, cosine, tangent. This guy is a cos, so he's all right. This guy's in a secant. Anybody know what the fraction is for secant? It's 1 over something.
1 over sine x.
All right, yeah. You would think it'd be 1 over cosine for the c's, but again, oh no, you did the thing. You did what it should be. He's an s. Why wouldn't it be 1 over an s word? Like sine. Well, no, it's not. It's going to be 1 over a c word, a co. Yeah. I mean, once you remember it's the opposite, then of course you got it anyway, but they could have been at least be friendly to you, you know what I mean? They weren't. Multiply that times this cosine thing. This is what I was going to do in the other problem that I saw in my head it wasn't going to work. But if I'd known it was going to produce this, maybe I'd have gone for it anyway. multiplying fractions. How do you multiply a fraction times the whole number? You turn the whole number into a fraction by putting 1 on the bottom of it. This is so cool because I know there has to be at least 1 or 2 you blanked out. You're like, I hear his words, but this is so meaningless to me that I'm thinking about other stuff. Like, dang, I want to eat chicken. I don't even like chicken. Especially if it has its wings.
Do you eat now?
No, as a matter of fact, pause it. So choosing not to. All right, so here we go. When we multiply these top times the top, I hope we can see 1 times cosine f is going to give me a cosine f. Bottom times the bottom will give me another cosine f. Anybody have any idea what cosine f divided by cosine f equals?
1.
Right. Let's just give you a minute. Let me give you a minute. You can choose either one of these, whichever one you feel is the one that your heart calls to. It called out to you in self-help talk. It resonates with you. Resonate is when you play guitar, the little container, the little wavy thing. You strum the string, it moves the air around the molecules. They go inside and they bounce around. That's called resonating, which is why they have that. Otherwise, you couldn't hear it. Figure out which one of these resonates with you and do that one. What am I going to do with it? You're going to do to it what I just did up here. If you know the vocabulary. You don't know the vocabulary, then you don't know what you're doing. But if you do know the vocabulary, which you can turn back, you do know what you're doing. Take 2 minutes to see what you can do with that. I won't do the others. B it is. Even though B turns out to be one of the easy ones in the sense that the cotangent, kind of already helps you. Here we go. 1 over tan. You can do it fast. 1 over tan. Hey, Brian, can you see, or am I always basically in your way? Dude, you have X-ray vision. All right, here it comes. Anybody straight up the middle? All right, I'll put this red one here to let them know I wrote it. Tan F. I can't even believe I'm teaching you guys this. It doesn't make any sense. It's just like I'm just writing stuff. And I know it.
Does the same apply to the bottom problem?
Yeah. The only way I can justify this is you're smarter than 95% of the people in this room. I mean, in this building. Because you know this. Now, how's that supposed to help you? Well, you need to actually produce this? No. You need confidence. Whatever you know. And then show why this isn't the thing they already know. Here it comes. Tick, 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 X number 4. Here goes 4. Hey, 4 to the negative 2 power. Write that down and write down what it equals. We'll see who remembers anything from back in the day.
Is that the answer of the problem?
Right, yeah, write down, if they put that on the test, write down what you put down as your answer. There are 2 versions. There's a version that you get full credit on, and then there's a version where you get half credit. If it's out of 4 points, I'd even give you 3. Yeah, I'd give you 3 out of 4 points. I can give you the whole thing, it's not the final answer, but even the 3 credit one is the one that I'd wish to see. All right, in the interest of time, since we don't have that much of it, someone say an answer out loud, please. 16 is close.
Negative.
Close.
Oh,
1 over 16.
1 over 16. Turns out negative exponents always spit out a fraction of an answer. In other words, it starts like that. And then the original goes on the bottom without the negative sign. So this is the way you get rid of the negative sign. Negative 16 is a usual answer. Technically the final answer is this one, but it's this middle guy that really I'm more concerned with. Let me do one more for you, that way you can be proud of yourselves. Here it comes. Let's do 3 to the negative 1 power. And then we'll make the connection over here. 3 to the negative 1 power. By the way, and I share with my family too, because I'm trying to get them to do the Mary Hunt thing, but they choose not to. Now my brother, him and his wife, they got enough money where it doesn't matter what they're doing, so I guess they don't need the help. But some family members who need it, but they choose not to. So I tell them what is done. Like, Dad, I got $20,000 in the bank. I paid off my $36,000 of credit card. My student loans, that was like another $40,000. That's how much so far. 40, 30, 70, another 20. That's like $100,000 that has gone through my hands in the last 12 years. But it's still $100,000 that I gave away to the people. And so they should think, wow, $100,000. And the $36,000 credit card we did in a year. They're like, nope, that's all right. You go ahead and keep it. What? So I have to tell them how good I'm doing. In other words, for you to even consider doing 10-10-80, you're like, well, what did it do for you? So I say the $20,000 thing, not because of whatever, but just so you think, okay, well, if I got him 20,000, I like 20,000, and I'm regular. You remember me? Yeah, regular dude. Yeah, you remember this? So it's not like, yeah, that's because you have all the best. No, I'm regular. You just have to decide to do it, and then eventually, like in November, you go out and buy the iPhone 6 for whatever it costs. You get in whatever plan. Now you're like a regular dude, doing junk that nobody care about, taking pictures nobody want to see. All right, here we go. Whenever you see a negative exponent, normally it means write the reciprocal. What does reciprocal mean? Flip it. If there's a 1 below, flip it. And usually, if it's a whole number, the top number will be a 1, because of course you have to have a 1 down here to begin with, and 1 down here to begin with. Why is that important? Because when you see this, here's what a regular kid, the other 95%, when you give them this, well, they won't even know to do this, but they would think something like this. They would think, oh, cosine, negative exponent x, which, by the way, we don't say to the negative 1 power. Oh, duh. Everybody knows all you have to do with that is write the reciprocal. You put this over 1, and you put 1 over the cosine x, and of course the negative 1 is gone, just like over here. The negative 1 becomes a positive 1. They would think that, but it's not true. This is the inverse. Oh, circle it here. New Spanish word. This is the inverse of the original. So try it this way. Ooh, yeah. Watch this. Hey, someone tell me what the opposite of multiplying is, the inverse of multiplying is, please. Yeah. Divided, division. Good. Someone different, tell me what the inverse of addition is, please. Subtraction. Good. Someone try to tell me what the inverse of cosine is, which it won't mean anything to you, but just go with the idea. What is the inverse, or the thing that division undoes multiplication, subtraction undoes addition? What undoes?
1 over cosine.
1 over cosine is a good answer because I put this thing which is wrong, so that's bad of me.
Oh,
But it really is this thing here. This cosine thing to the negative 1 power. Now let's say it correctly. Cosine inverse cosine? Cosine inverse of x? Also called arc cosine. They're like, look, we don't want any exponents. Just give it a brand new word so kids have to memorize a brand new junk. It's a whole other language. Arc cosine, arc sine, arc tangent is the thing that you do if someone tied you up in a cosine and you need to get out of it. What you would need is a arc cosine. When we do the other thing next time, or I'm going to see if I'm assigned for homework, and see what happens. They're going to end with this thing here. This thing on the left does not mean this thing on the right. So normally a negative exponent says, hey, a fraction is going to show up. In this instance, when we put it here in this word, it doesn't produce a fraction. It does something else, which I'm going to show you. With that said, we'll